Big good evening, welcome to Scott Valley Hairdressing. Woo! This is the place where it's happening all here tonight, which is what we all love doing, of course. We love doing the live streaming. Nice bit of filming now, I love it. So, welcome if you just joined us tonight. We are a little bit after 8 o'clock, but we are live and we are streaming from Scott Valley Hairdressing. To those of you that are international tonight, especially those of you that are in Australia, big good evening and welcome. Especially big good evening to Kerry, Leah, Mark, Clive, all of the team at Muck in Australia. Great to see you. Also, a big good evening to everybody in the UK at Muck Central, Justina, BA, everybody there that is at Muck Central. It's a great pleasure to be your UK Artistic Director. Thank you so much. I really enjoy working with the products, as you'll see tonight, how the Muck products work in harmony with the haircut when you see that come from the Scott Valley Cutting Education System tonight. Also, a big good evening to everybody that is international, that is a non-hairdresser. Hello. And also a big good evening to everybody that is also local, that is our clients to Scott Valley Hairdressing, and our friends as well, because we're guessing that there's a lot of friends also on there tonight, so big hello to you also. Hopefully you'll enjoy tonight. It's a journey. I always say, when you do a haircut, it's literally like doing a painting. You start with a canvas, add some colour, add some products, and it changes into something really wonderful. It's the beautiful thing I love about hairdressing. It is very magical. It's a great experience. I'm hoping that you'll enjoy the experience also this evening as I take you through with our model, which I'll introduce to you in a minute. So, haircut tonight is number 29. We said we'd originally do 3. That was back in June. We are very slowly approaching towards the 12-month mark, and it's great. I'm really enjoying this project. I'm loving it. People are coming to me and saying, thank you, Scott, so much for teaching me this. It is set up as a teaching tool, but also, as we know, it is a live communication network as well. So we'll be saying good evening to everybody this evening, which of course I'm guessing that there'll be a few people on there tonight. So big evening to Jessica, I know that you'll be on there tonight, who is in today. Also, I'm guessing that Big Mate's on there as well, Andy Hardy and Lynn Marie Atkinson and Carla, of course, and not forgetting Grace. I'm sure that you're on there as well. As the Saxon crew, I'm guessing they'll be out in Spain watching live as well tonight. But we'll say a big hello to everybody that's on there tonight, especially also Nick McCaffrey. I'm guessing that you'll be on there as well, and Dan Metcalf. You'll also be there wherever you are tonight, Nick. But we'll come back to you very shortly. So let's talk about what it's all about tonight. The hair. It comes in 2 parts. Number 1, we're going to talk about how the system works with the hair. That includes hand positioning, body positioning. We need to think about the well-being of the hairdresser and how they work. Secondly, we're looking at the products, how the Muck products work, how they're going to work in harmony with the cut and what we're doing with it. So, without great further ado, it gives me a great pleasure to introduce a local rock star in the making. Let's have it up a nice big welcome tonight to a friend. First time I've cut his hair live to film. I'm sure you'll enjoy this tonight. Please welcome live to Scott Valley tonight, Will Hayter. Woo!
Hello everyone. Hi Sean, my lovely girlfriend and probably her flatmates in 6C. And hello to Mum and Dad. I'm sure you're watching too.
Excellent stuff, Will. So, as you see, we've got a great model tonight. We've got a great hairstyle, something a little bit different tonight. We'll be using different tools, we'll be using different products. We're going to use a different style product tonight as well, just for a change, just to make it really interesting and up the game as well with Will's hair. So let's talk about how it's going to work. Let's just literally look at the highway of the hair, and then we'll get into the haircut. So, we'll be working tonight on Will's hair. We're going to be taking the back and the sides slightly shorter here, faded out into the neck. So we'll be using classic scissor over combing into the back, which will then be fading in with a pair of clippers only in the bottom section only, which we'll talk about the bones in a minute. We'll then be coming through the sides with a cutting technique with the scissors, using a stroking technique, which will be a very jagged effect. Then we'll be using thinning scissors to go through that to give it a real soft, grungy, natural look. We'll be then going through the top part of the haircut, coming through with a razor blade to again maintain the length that's on the front and soften through this, and then come into a lot of texture. So we're looking to remove a very small amount of length but take out a lot of weight. We'll then be coming through the front, doing an asymmetrical fringe through there with a broken edge, which we'll be using electric clippers to create that softer edge through there. We'll also be using electric clippers to even soften through the edges there and soften through the texture through the top. But again, it doesn't work without the highway of the hair, so we'll be working with the recession bone. They'll be working with the parietal ridge, which is the bone that subdivides the top of the head on a universal layer, going through to a rounded layer, which again is the divider in the middle. We'll then be using the apex, which is the top of the head, which again you can remember that through a roof, which is called an apex. Also the upper occipital bone, the protruding bone in the back of the head, which is called the occipital bone, which you would cut a graduated bob to as the shortest point, as a reference point. Then we'll be going to the lower occipital bone. We'll also be using the nape in the bottom of the neck, which is again an important key point, and the mastoid process. So when I was talking to you earlier on about doing the graduation in the back, we'd be working between the mastoid process and the nape. Those would be the two parts of the highway. So that's how it works. Basically, it's a situation where, again, you have to think about the highway, how it's working, equally as important as where you stand, and equally as important as how you use your products. But the highway is very important because it maintains discipline, and I've always said discipline is really important when you're cutting hair, and that is one thing that we work solely on at Scott Bailey Hairdressing. So let's talk about our products tonight. We're going to be working with tonight, to begin with, Fat Muck Blowout Mousse, which we'll be using in a minute. We'll also be using Fat Muck Volumizer tonight. We'll also be using Aunt Collie's favourite product, Filthy Muck Styling Paste for blow drying. We'll then be coming in at the end with Rough Muck Foaming Cream. We'll be using that foaming cream, we'll be using that at the very end, and then we may use some hair lacquer. So let's bring our first product out tonight that we're going to be using in our wardrobe, which is Fat Muck Blowout Mousse, which again, very important product. I always say the size of a golf ball, which is really important. And of course, the important part of it is thinking about, thank you, you can take it off with a comb. See how it's a nice, literally foamy product. You can comb that through. Again, cleanliness is really important when you're doing this. It's like playing a guitar, you know, you've got to keep it clean, haven't you, when you're playing it. Clean sound, clean plectrums, it's all really important. So this allows you to really just sort of work that product cleanly into the hair. If you were to get two hands and put it together and then slice it through the hair, it would waste a lot of product, and it would also be a position where there would be no theatre. And as we know, guitar players like a little bit of theatre, and so too does hairdressing. That's what it's all about. So the theatre here is cleanliness and also being able to have no product waste, which is really important. So you can see now the foaming blowout mousse works really well. Now we're going to be working here on a recession area going round through to the upper occipital bone, which then cuts through the parietal ridge. So we're going to make it look nice and clean. Now this product is conditioning, but also it allows me to keep the sections really clean. As I'm just cutting through there, you can see you can get real nice clean lines. And again, I always say, clean lines, clean haircut, and it's just very important. Who's with us tonight, Dad? Let's see who's on the board tonight.
Well, I've got two up on the screen at the moment. One's Chaos.
Chaos, nice to see you tonight with us. I hope you're well.
And Kerry Southam.
Kerry Southam. Woo! Hope you're okay, sweetheart. Nice to see you with us tonight. That's good. I'm waiting for some of you from the Saxon crew tonight. We're a little bit later, so I'm guessing that some people are probably having dinner or they are watching Coronations. No, EastEnders. Charlotte Ann, our lovely Saturday girl. Nice to see you with us. You'll be working with me again on Thursday. Looking forward to that, which will be great to see you in here again. So again, this must look so familiar to you, Charlotte Ann, because you get to see this Charlie every Saturday that you come see me.
Lazarus.
Nice to see you with us tonight. Hope you're okay there.
Scatman.
Scatman, good to see you, Scatman. Probably on patrol tonight, doing a undercover patrol job.
Paul King.
Paul King, nice to see you from Essex, Kingy. Hope you and the family are really well tonight. I will send that muck sample up to you. I'm sorry, down to you, because of course Essex is down south. I shall do that. You need to send me a text tomorrow to remind me, and I'll get that sent to you, so you too can enjoy the absolute delights of our muck works. So this is how it's going to work tonight. We're going to work in with half the hair cut both sides. Let's just have a switch with Dad. See if we can just come around this way. That's it. Beautiful. Okay, so it's going to work in quadrants. We're going from quadrant 1 to 2. So we'll do both sides. Just bring the camera around that way. That's it. So we're just going to subdivide this. Hi, how you doing? If you'd like to bring the camera around this side.
Sorry.
No, sorry,
I misunderstood
no,
you.
hi, that's it. Don't you worry about it. Don't tread on my foot. Okay. So
I misunderstood.
no, it's fine. So what we'll do now is we're just going to literally just bring this in and then we're going to add some softness into there. Now what I'm doing is I'm using a flicking technique on this. So
Josh Brown.
Josh Brown! Yeah. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're okay, and I'm sure that your wife is good as well, as to your family. Great to see you with his last work on model. So you can see on this there's two ways I'm working. Number one is I'm bending the fingers and I'm cutting to the second knuckle, which is really important. Number two, I'm using the blade and flicking it as I'm doing it, so it gives us a real nice soft jagged edge. And the idea is it gives us like a start of a grungy, soft, natural guitarist look. Will be killing himself for laughter.
Goldie Tour.
Goldie Tour, nice to see you with us tonight. Hope you're okay, sweetheart. And I'm guessing Suki's with you tonight. Good to see you there, brother. Hope you're okay. You see I still work late at night. If you drive past the salon, you'll see us live tonight. So again, the important part of this is the control as you're doing this, because it is actually called a stroking technique. If Suki's watching tonight, he has this on the top of his hair. So it's a great versatile technique. It really, really works well. When Will watches this back later, he'll sort of be amazed, hopefully, at just how intricate this cut is. So this, what it does is it allows us to create that natural, softer shape that comes through the back of the hair, which again, I'll take that through to the sides. When I raise at the top, it really replicates what we're doing now. So we've got that sort of theme coming through. You can see I'm working with an 8.5-inch pair of scissors as well tonight, which is quite a large pair of scissors. Dave Deacon, great to see you tonight. I have to say, Dave and Louise, congratulations to you both. I am so made up. I really am. I'm so pleased for the pair of you. Well done. Excellent. Great news. It really is great to see you on there tonight, mate. One of our previous models again on there. It's good. It's all good. Everybody's on tonight watching live from the borough. Tonight's good. So let's just... you have to remember what everything is. So what I mean, it's fast moving. So as we're moving around now, this is a moving guide. We're actually using the clock as we're going round. So the idea is, as we're using a clock, you can go from 6 round to 9 o'clock, which again is really important. Again, it's just keeping the sections clean. Remember, the thumb is the leading part of this, so the thumb is the part that leads. If you were to turn your hands around the other way, you would end up having, first of all, a cut-up hand. Secondly, you would not have the discipline. And this has got to be maintained all the way through, and I can see the movement in that hopefully is picking up on the HD tonight. You can see it in there. Right, now we move through to the next part. Again, keeping everything really clean in there. Let's just
Liz Covenant.
Who's on tonight?
Liz Covenant.
Nice to see you with us tonight. Hope you're okay. So again, I'm just moving around the other way so I can just see. Nick McCaffrey at last. How you doing, bro? Great to see you. Great to see you Saturday. I hope you're really, really well, and I hope Sharon's really good too as well. I don't know where you are tonight. Probably with Wolfgang in Germany. If Wolfgang's watching, nice to see you. Guten Tagen. Hope you're well. I'm guessing you're either in Germany or in the UK. I'm sure you'll let us know. Dan will be on soon, no doubt, with his AMG cap, reverse round, back to front. But no, it's really, really good to see you with us tonight. Welcome, bro. So let's just keep everything nice and tidy again. As you can see, just going through there, and again you can see this is just literally just chipping away the edges and keeping it clean. Again, it's a very difficult technique. This is. It actually took me six months to perfect this, which my wife loved it when I was practicing on a mannequin doll just about every other night in the living room of the house. Hair all over the floor. If Glenda's watching, she'll remember that. The stroking technique. But you can see what it does is it maintains length. It gives us a real nice shape. So again, later on Will's hair, you'll really see this shape on there. It's just coming through towards the front, and again it just keeps everything really clean and tidy. Again, a lot of the guests, when they come to the salon, they don't really sort of see what goes into the cuts, because we're all busy talking about holidays and playing guitars and work and all that sort of thing, and everything just sort of passes by, and then all of a sudden, hey presto, there's a haircut. So there's the first side we've got now. We can see it maintains the shape all the way through. Let's come through to this side now. You should have some great lighting on this side now. So to replicate this look, we've now got to turn the hand over the opposite way, and the thumb's got to go that way round, which we're now coming in through the bottom. So the fingers are coming at an angle which replicates the same look all the way round. So it's called accentuated look. So now just come through. Again, you can see I'm only going up to the second knuckle, because again I don't really want to lose my knuckle. It's really important. It is. These are all things you have to think about. So people get really excited, well, and what they do is they cut past the second knuckle and take the knuckle off. They do. You'd be amazed. And again, standing's really important. How you stand, how you move with people's hair. It's really important. So it's the well-being of the cutting, and that's what we're trying to sort of showcase here. So when we get round to the other side, we'll check the cut out to make sure it's level, and then we'll move on to the next part, and then we move on to the top using a razor blade. We'll then probably break for the blow dry, because what you'll find is the blow dry gets quite loud. I don't really want anybody to not be able to hear what's going on, so we'll talk you through what's going to happen with the blow dry, because there's a few tricks involved in that. In order
Wolfgang
to
sends his best.
Wolfgang, is he on? Wolfgang, it'd be great to see Wolfgang. If Wolfgang's watching now, Nick, just great to see you, Wolfgang. Hopefully he gets it, Nick. I'm very impressed by his speech the other day, I have to say. Tell him that. It was really impressive. It's Stuttgart. Very good. Home of Mercedes, of course. So, now coming through the sides. It makes me laugh. It's brilliant. So, again, if it's international, it's great to have you with us tonight. I love the international as well as the local. It's really cool. It's just coming around the sides now. Again, it's just really important to just keep that finger control, because again, it's in there with the scissor control. And again, if you go too short, you'll see it. If you go too long, you'll see it. But again, it's all in the fingers, which is what it's all about. I thought I'd share with you a real technical technique tonight. We used this on quite a few of the models in the past, especially on the ladies, but it is adaptable for men's haircuts as well. So it's just great. Oh, somebody wants you. It could be your girlfriend checking on you, saying,
I should have put my phone on silent, shouldn't
that's
I?
fine, don't worry about it. It's not a problem. It's live. It's what people like to see live, not pre-recorded. We had to pre-record some of it last week, so hopefully we won't have to pre-record anything tonight. So now as we're working through towards the front, you can sort of see that shape coming now, really working the fingers as we're coming through. Again, it maintains length, but also maintains the softness as well. You can see there, flying off I'm doing it. What's our text, is it?
I don't actually know. Yeah, sounds like it.
Get your phone out in a minute. Want to go to the back of the edge, you can fetch it out and see who's on there. Oh, it might be a phone
now.
Yeah, that's it. This is what happens. You see, note to self: silent but violent on the phone. That's it. That's what I call it when I'm in a business meeting.
Silent but
Put
violent.
silent but violent. That's it. Right, so we can now see through there. We just cross-check through the opposite way, just to make sure everything's on there. And what that does is, by going sideways on, it just makes it so that everything's level. And then the way you check it is just to come through. Now remember, you're looking for a very jagged effect. That's what you're after. You're not after everything looking in lines, because we're all taught to cut in lines. This is like a very natural jagged effect. Okay, so let's just look at the back. Just make sure I've not missed anything there. That's all fine. We're quite happy with that. So you can now see we've got quite a soft, grungy effect, and we'll take that out later with scissor over comb. Okay, while we work on to the next part, will take his telephone out and see if his girlfriend is texting him.
Yes.
Alright, yes, but of course. So, if you want to do it, that's fine. I can distract the audience while you're doing that. Right, so now at this point, what we're looking for is the weight line that's around this area here, so we're now going to move on to the next part. Because again, if we were to leave that, what would happen is, it would make it quite heavy. So we want to take away that heaviness and just make it so the whole haircut is smooth or smooth and works really well. So let's just come around the other side. So Dad needs to switch over again for me. That's it, my little friend. You come on over here. That's it. So we now replicate, so you don't have to hide your phone, it's fine. We can't see who's on it. But we want to see who's on it, really. Right, so same again. Everything goes in square. So what you're looking at is everything square through that part there. What you wouldn't want to do is bend it into the head shape as we're doing that. So let's just lift it out, flick it around. Keep your phone out if you want to, it's fine, you might get another text.
Cool, I'll put it on vibrate.
Silent. Violent. Okay, so now just anybody else? Anybody else come on? It's like a cough to say something's on, I never know with you, Dad.
No, it's all just got frog in my throat.
No, again, okay.
Richard McKinder.
Richard McKinder, good to see you with us tonight all the way from Dadlington. Hope you and the family are really well tonight. Great to see you on there. He's the main man when it came to Richard III and all that sort of thing with the archaeological dig and sort of so the battleground, that was it, over at Market Bosworth. Just need to come over the side, Dad, that's it. There we go. Let's have another quick switch to the other side. Don't worry, it's fine. Okay, so now we switch again. Fast moving tonight. So now we're just replicating everything, as you can see.
Kerry Hayter.
That will be Mum.
Kerry Hayter, let's say hello to Kerry Hayter. No,
Hi,
over
Mum.
here, that's it. Kerry Hayter. There you go.
Looking good so far, it says.
Hello, Mummy. Nice to meet
Looking
you.
good so
I'm Will's
far.
hairdresser. Great to see you. Welcome. Welcome to the party. Let's keep it in the family. This is how I do it. So, pull the sections out again. Now we're coming through to the sides. And again, you can see as I lift the sections out, the beautiful thing about the fat muck blowout mousse is you can really sort of hold the hair up and see what goes on with it, and you can see the actual haircut as I'm doing it, so you should be picking that up. So now we come through the side. Great to see your mum's come on, it's good.
Yeah.
Sarah Farmer.
Sarah Farmer, how you doing, Stalker? Great to see you, hope you're okay. I'm there. Great to see you with us tonight, really is. So just coming through the
Sarah
side.
Reeves.
Sarah Reeves, nice to see you, Sarah Reeves. Great to see you. Hope you're well and the family's really well.
Three Sarahs, Sarah White.
Sarah White. Hello, Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Nice to see you. Just down the road. Hope you're okay. Hope Nidge is safe in Madrid as well. Sure he's having a great time, but nice to see you with us tonight, Sarah. So just cleaning everything up now just to keep it all nice and tidy. You can see that
Amanda
everything's all
Foy.
on there. Amanda, great to see Amanda with us again. Hope you're okay. I'm watching your Facebook feeds on the wedding that you're doing, all the wedding work. It's brilliant. It really is. Your wedding fairs, sorry. So you can now see we've got the shape through here. Everything's nice and clean, and we've got a real. Sorry, I was trying to flit you in there. So you can see a real accentuated shape. We're now going to work from the apex through to the upper occipital bone. So we're now going to be doing that curve all the way through. What happens then is we'll then work through the sections, like the wheels, spokes on a bicycle, cut with a razor blade. So that's what's coming up next. We're going to be just using the scissors first, because again the scissors will replicate what we're doing. So now on this, you would imagine that you cut the top, you would have to be cutting that same technique, so you've got no drag at all, because again drag's really important. If it's dragged, it'll be really heavy, so we need to keep that high. So what we do with the scissors, sorry, is reverse it round and then just lift it from the bottom and flick it up. It's like magic. All you have to do is remember where you're going. So your next section, you're going to be moving round with it, then back round the other way. Wait till you see this on the video. You'll believe what I have to do. So now we just flick it round and keep it flicking. See how the product really holds it as well. It's the great thing about the muck product. It really does hold it in place when you cut it. So you can use it as a great cutting tool, as well as a styling tool. So that now just keeps it clean and tidy. And again, when I want to check that off for the natural fall, because natural fall is really important when you're looking at haircuts. Let's just come around this way. You might just be able to get it from the back with the camera. Let's just have a look. Stage yours from. So I'll just go there. You might just be able to catch the back of my fingers and taking it off. Not my finger, but taking the hair off. And then we'll switch back around the other way in a minute. There we go. So we just, again, it's all about tension on the hair and also tension on the fingers, because again it's really important. You can use the fingers for a lot of things because it's really important how it can move around. So now we've got the back all cut in, everything's all nicely cut, you can see it all just falling there nicely. Okay, so works well with the crown. Right, here we go then, on the top with the razor blade. So on Will's hair, as I said to you earlier on, let's bring it around this way, right there. So with the sections we said on the top, we need that to curve round to come into an asymmetrical fringe that's on the front. So what we'll do now is we'll curve that razor blade round as we're doing it, a bit like last week with Lewis's. We'll bring it round, so with Josh, we'll get his name right in a minute. So round this way, and then literally leaving the fringe upon the front on the top. So the idea is it's doing two things, it's curving and it's going high at the same time. So let's just get in there and do it. So let's start from the back. So we need to just make sure we've got a guide to what we're doing. Let's take a section and then literally pull it up, chipping it towards the fingers. When I say chipping it, just slicing it. And then as we get towards the front, all we're going to do now is glide it off. So we just go like that and glide it off. And then by gliding it, you're pulling your fingers up as you're doing that, and what it's doing is maintaining the length and preserving the length of the fringe. So now just coming through the back again, and again we're just working as well. Right, you'll see traditionally most people work hairdressing, they do section that way all the way through the top. We're working this way because Will's hair naturally grows forward. The idea is we're actually cutting it in its natural fall, so it's a lot more natural. to Will, this is all he's been used to since I've been cutting it, because the first time I did it, I could sort of cut it this way and it just falls better. So you don't get those clumps of hair, and it just flows more natural and looks cool on stage when you know, guitarists flip their hair around. You've got to be thinking those sort of things. I'll give it a little bit of a movement, and now you can start to see it sort of just falls in naturally and looks more natural. Okay, so let's just go on through the top, and then we'll go through the other side. So we have to cut backwards with the razor, and then what we'll do then is we'll go into it with Donna Morris, one of our other previous models. Nice to see you, Donna. Hope you're well, and I hope Kev's well, and all of the family as well. Great to see you on there tonight.
Jan Martin.
Is that so, Dan?
Jan Martin.
Jan Martin, great to see you with us tonight. Hope you're really, really well. Thank you for joining us. So now you can really sort of see that fringe just coming in now, just literally, we've got that asymmetrical fringe automatically creating. Okay, so let's come back around the other side. We're now going to work the next part. There you go, all of a sudden you can see what's going on. There you go, how about that? Okay. You see the video back, you can see it. So coming through now, cutting backwards, this is one of the hardest techniques because we're having to cut backwards with a razor. Most people just grab it and just cut it like that. There's no finesse. So you've got to have a bit of finesse, a bit of theatre. So again, as I said earlier on, we're pulling it up as we're doing this. So the idea is, as I say, we're pulling it up, we're preserving the hair. So we're going like that as it's sort of angling up at the top. Starting from the back and just sort of chipping it across and bringing it over. And again, it just makes it all just sit that little bit better. And again, we can now see as we just shake it off with a natural fall, we can see that just some coming in there nicely. Just making sure not missed anywhere. Just come through this part. It's quite a lot of hair to get through, so we'll be doing a lot of thinning. Sure. Do you know what I was just thinking about you? How weird is that? I was thinking Matthew Sidwell has not been on. Great to see you with us tonight, brother. I hope you're really well, and I'm really hoping that you're having a great evening as well as a great afternoon. Great to see you with us. Woo! That's what it's all about. Positivity is the key word. You know that. So how weird is that? I was just thinking about you. That is so bizarre. It really is. I was thinking he's not been on yet. Good to see you with us, as always. And your partner as well. I'm guessing she's on there as well. Hope you made your list. Okay, so, or lists, I should say. So now we've got the shape we can see through the top. Everything's all blending through nicely. Now we're going to go through the top part with some more texture. Okay, we've got some smiles, but before that we need to use a special pair of scissors. We're going to use a curved pair of scissors, which will give us a convex shape. If we go upside down, it's concave. Just need to just put a slight convex on here. So this is what happens. We've got the length of the fringe there, the length of the fringe on the top, and that's what's in the middle. We'll take the weight out. The curve does it all for us. Just makes it nice and easy. If you didn't have a curved pair of scissors, you just use a pair of scissors and it would just take the corner off. But with a curve, it's just quite nice. It just gives us that little bit of extra finish. Okay, so now I just need, you can see that curve now, just working on the front. Right, pair of scissors. Okay, so here we go. Pair of scissors. Yeehaw. Okay, so looking on the top, I did say it's theatre. So through the top, and I'm just going to go in there and cut it and slice it out to take some texture. So that's what we'll do. We'll just let you go and watching your fingers when you do this, because it's really important not to take a piece out of your finger. So you're just really working a little bit higher above your fingers, but the idea is we just break that up a little bit more. The best way to get the control is to put the finger on the scissor just there, like I have on there on the shank, and then that just gives you a little bit more control of the scissors, so it's a bit more fluid as it's working. Because again, you need as much control as you've got, and you can see I'm controlling the hair with my finger as I'm pulling it up with the hair. Again, it's just really important. So just go through there, soften that off. Now come through the side panel on the parietal ridge. So we just do that on both sides, taking little sections as we're doing it. So again, those little sections working forward is really important. Gavin Kirkham, nice to see you with us tonight. I should say my favourite nephew. Hope you're okay. Nice to see you tuning in with Uncle Scott. Lucy is alright there. I'm guessing that David's there as well, Davido and Teresa. Nice to see you with us. I'm guessing you're at 35 Hill Rise. Great to see you. Extended family. So just coming through the top now, softening out. Again, it's really important that we're on the parietal ridge. Just softening out. Chris.
Alan.
Nice to see you, Chris Allen. Great to see you, that I should say. Pal, mate, good to see you with us tonight. Hope you're okay. So now just softening through the top, and again it's on that parietal ridge, which is really important, just to soften it up. And again, this is really important because these techniques add to what's going on.
Glenda Bailey.
Ah yes, hello darling. Nice to see you, I hope you're really well, Baba. I'm looking forward to my dinner tonight. Well, say hello to my wife, Glenda.
Hi.
Excellent, good to see you, sweetheart. Okay, of course, I was just saying earlier on, we've just done a bit of stroking technique on there, so I did say, I'm sure that you know that inside out, that cuts because of when I've obviously been cutting it in the living room at home so many times. Scat needing combination. I'm just going to go through the top with thinning scissors in my Paul Mitchell days. That's what I used to do. A lot of the stroking technique on the cut. That's the cut on the hair, that is, for those of you at home. So now we're just using thinning scissors to really just soften the edges off. And again, this adds to the actual benefit of the cut. We've actually maintained the length and preserved the fringe on the front. Now working through the parietal ridge, which is Ross Cunningham's favourite part of the haircut. Ross, go on there, my sweet baby. So we'll just go through the top now, softening this out. Again, it's more texture, which I said in the consultation previously that we would add a lot more texture to make it look more natural. We've got a smile coming on from the guitarist, so he's quite happy with what's going on here. That's because I've left it longer, which is good, and your girlfriend will like it as well. She'll be,
definitely.
hopefully she'll like it, otherwise I'll be wearing it. Let's go to the top.
Charlie James Broad.
That's one
there's
of
the
my
name, there you go,
mates.
there's one of your friends. Say hello, say hello.
How's it doing, mate?
I was thinking, do I know the name?
He's one of my mates.
Welcome to tonight. Welcome, nice to see you with us. Okay, here we go then. This is called a twisting technique. So, very quickly, we twist the hair. We use the shank of the scissor, which is the middle part, which I'm squeezing now. What we do there is we just squeeze into it. Now as we squeeze into it, what it's doing is two things. Number one, it's thinning the hair out. Number two, it's creating that magic on the top to create the hair to disperse all over the place. So as Will's hair is growing out in 6 weeks' time, it will still maintain a soft, casual look, even more so than what it would have done just purely through this technique. This technique can be used for a number of things. It can be used for volume, it can be used for thinning, it can be used for texture. It's a really versatile technique. This reminds me, of course, of my old days at Tony and Guy. This is where we learnt a lot of these tricks in London, at Mayfair. The old tricks are always the best, and it's great just to bring them out and show them with you tonight and share them, which is what it's all about. You never forget classic techniques, you never forget a good teacher, which I don't forget my teachers. If you're watching tonight, thank you for what you've done for me and where you've helped put me as well. So, right, now we've got the cut, you can see literally on the natural part of the haircut. So this is what you call the wet relationship of the haircut, with now you can see from there upwards is pretty much ready to go. What we're going to do is blow dry in a minute, then we'll come back and work between the master oil process and the nape, scissor over comb this out and a clipper cut it out, and then work more around the ears and work a lot more around this area here, which probably won't take a great deal of time. So we'll be working now with Aunt Collie's favourite product, which is Filthy Muck, which has got quite a softer, sort of gritty sort of feel to it. So really just need enough just to cover the finger. Now the beautiful thing about this product is, obviously it is a humidity resistant product, which is fantastic for those of you that are in heat. So for the Saxon crew that are in Spain, this will be ideal for you to put through your hairs. Secondly, it's allowing me to see the natural movement in Will's hair. Immediately we can see that texture showing itself, which I tend to use this on guests' hair so I can see the feel. Thirdly, it will allow me to do a really nice blow dry, because you would use this in place of maybe a mousse or a styling gel or something, and you can see a really nice finish. So what we're going to do now is we're going to blow dry Will's hair and disappear, and then and then we'll return probably in the next sort of 10 minutes, give you a chance to have a cup of tea, coffee, maybe check on the children, see what's going on television, and hopefully you'll come back and join us very shortly for the finishing part of Will's hair. Don't go away, we'll be back real soon in 2. Bye bye for now, ciao.